Residents living in a downtown apartment building are outraged because management started leasing out open units on short-term rental sites like Airbnb. Residents say they're concerned about the guests and their potential safety. KSN's Krystle Sherrell took a look into this issue and joins us with the latest.
Several residents I spoke with say they contacted management through phone, email, and even in person several times. They say they want out of their leases. I spoke with management and also a legal expert who said the residents may have a tough legal case. This Facebook post and a long email are A.J. Pickering's most recent efforts to try to get the attention of Trinity Property Consultants, the California company who manages Renew Wichita.
We weren't notified at all. We weren't asked for any input. We pay high-end prices for a luxury building, and then they just decided to drop this on us.
Some of the apartments are featured on the website Airbnb. We found this one last week for $60 per night.
You could rent the place fully furnished, all utilities included, and it's about half of what I pay, and have full access to all the amenities, all the hallways, everything.
Pickering says the Airbnb renters next door to him have been disruptive on multiple occasions. Last week, police records show there was a call of an aggravated assault and a domestic violence disturbance.
I found that later out, finding blood on the walls and the door handles of the unit. You know, right down the road, right during the hall from me, not far away at all.
Executive Vice President of Trinity Property Consultants David Seiler confirms the altercation was relatively physical and says both people who were Airbnb renters were evicted and the locks have been changed. The company did not want to talk on camera. Airbnb released a statement to KSN that says the reported behavior is abhorrent and has no place on Airbnb. We have removed the guest from our platform. Seiler says management is constantly in communication with residents and that the short-term leasing has been successful with other properties across the country, and it will continue at Renew Wichita. A local attorney tells me those residents who want out of their lease because of the short-term renters have a tough legal case.
Just because a domestic dispute happens with an Airbnb customer doesn't necessarily mean that those tenants have a lawsuit that they can bring against the landlord, because if the landlord had rented that same unit to a tenant, any other tenant, it's still possible that that tenant could have a domestic dispute.
But he does point to some legal protection within Kansas, that a tenant will be able to live on premises in peace without any disturbance by hostile claimants.
Whether it says it in the lease or doesn't, the tenant has an implied covenant of quiet enjoyment with respect to the premises that they're renting.
Several emails from management have been sent to residents about the disturbance and the short-term leasing, but residents say it's not enough.
Please just let me out of my lease. This place isn't safe. I leave in April. I stress my concerns week after week.
Local attorneys advise that you read your lease agreement in its entirety before signing. If you want to make sure that short-term renters aren't in your binding, have that in writing before signing. Residents here at Renew Wichita say there will be a resident meeting on Tuesday to address these concerns. The company says a regional manager is expected to be there. Krystle Sherrell, KSN News 3.